If your nonprofit is still relying on spreadsheets, sticky notes, and manual follow-up, you're leaving donations, volunteers, and valuable time on the table. In this webinar, we're going to show you a smarter way to operate. Let's dive in.
We want to start off with a question to you all to think about. If you took a 2-week vacation starting tomorrow and didn't answer your phone or email, what would stop inside your own organization?
I will actually answer that for me because I'm in
Okay.
sales. That's what I do directly. So my skill set is basically being in the field, hustle and bustle, just grinding, face to face sales. If I didn't have automation, honestly, in a week, I would immediately lose customers. My customer base is based off of how quick I'm able to respond. If I'm not able to respond quickly, they're immediately going to the competitor. So my response is the most important thing. So if I was sick today, if I took a week off, either I have someone that I clone to be myself, which is very, very hard to do, especially if you're new in the space and you don't have, $50,000 to pay somebody. I immediately would lose out on a lot of my customers, a lot of my leads, and I would just be behind. And being behind not only is defeating, it defeats you and it makes you feel like you're starting over. But with this system or with these solutions that we're going to provide you, we're going to show you how you can literally take space to be a creator, take space to grow your company, take space to be sick, take space with family, whatever it is that you dream of, and your company still runs, still operates. And not only operates, it's literally 10xing itself.
I
So,
like that. I like that.
yep.
You're right. And like I said, and some of you all that have nonprofits, I know you have small businesses as well. So again, it applies to both. But for many of you, of course, whether you're a business owner or nonprofit, many nonprofit leaders would argue that you have the hands of not just your livelihood, but other in the community. And that's why we're talking tonight is about just think not necessarily we're going to go through the platform, but not necessarily the brand or what it is, but what it allows you to do. So having that capacity in your nonprofit to go on, even if you need to take a break, even if you can't be there. Many of you all don't, have said to me, you don't have the budget to hire 6 people, never less one person, right? That assistant, even just assistant alone. I've talked to some of you, and I've said if nothing else, you need to hire them 10 hours a week, or a lot of times you cannot do this alone. So we're gonna kind of just jump on in here. So as we mentioned, her company is Vision and Co-Marketing, excuse me, and mine is A&E Coaching Group, and we're going to talk about AI employees for nonprofits. And for the purpose of this presentation, this is where you meet the AI team that runs your inbox, your social, your content, your outreach, your calls, your paperwork. So your people can stay focused on the mission, right? That's the biggest thing. We're going to meet each agent individual and talk about what they do. How many know about Marblism? Have you heard anything? Do you have it? Have you tried it? I was surprised to see that it's been around almost a year.
Yeah.
About a year?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty shocked.
Honestly, one of the biggest growing AI automation company. So
Okay.
it's definitely, it's been trialed and tested and it is booming. So this is
Yeah.
definitely one of the companies that you want to jump on. I'm excited for y'all to see.
Yep. Absolutely. So we're gonna start with you see to the right that's our that's the team. And I'll tell you, everybody in the beginning, don't get overwhelmed when we go through this. It's advised
So
you start with 1 to 3, and then you build out. Okay. Most nonprofit teams are stretched across more work than any group of people can hold. And I have been doing this for a while, and I hear them say, it's just one of me. It's just one of me. And what do you all hear me say? Those that have heard me, you're not an island. You're not an island. So your board members, for one, should be helping. But I understand that a lot of times you need more administrative type tasks. Okay. Because we're telling you, even Tori said, be out there, make sure you're being exposed. Like they have to know about your organization to know what you do, to want to give. So we'll go over here. Your day, for example, could be starts with 100 plus unread emails and donor messages. Do most of us
Wow.
know that very well, right? Let's not talk about social media accounts that you haven't touched in weeks. And I've heard some people haven't touched them at all. Maybe they started the account
Mhm.
that was a year ago and hadn't really posted much of anything. And then newsletter or blog, you might feel like you don't even need that, but think about a newsletter a lot of times will capture not only the information of, say, you're dealing with you might want to pull some things from the news, but also what your organization has been doing. Keeping them engaged with, even if it's just a weekly or a monthly newsletter, keep the people engaged. So, newsletter above. Donor and partner follow up, keep sliding to next week. How many of you, and this is not to answer out loud, but just think of the times where someone wanted to meet with you or they wanted to hear a little bit more about your organization?
Yes.
Did you
And
follow up?
listen, guys,
Yeah,
donors, they are wanting to hand you their money. I'm hot. I'm
literally.
ready. I got 10,000. I'm emotional. I'm excited. Like
Yeah,
everything about you is impactful. This
yeah,
this company, I'm living, I'm breathing, I'm loving it. I'm ready to hand you the money. I click that. I want to talk to you. I want to give you the money. I'm fired up because sales is only done through emotion, contrary to what you
yeah,
believe. So that emotion is right then. It's right there.
yeah.
They don't hear back from you for a week. You don't want them people money.
And you know
Um,
what? How many of us, if we were on the other side, that's the first thing
right.
we say. They must not want my money. They must not
They don't
think that
want my
I'm
money.
important enough.
Yeah, that I'm important enough to support this cause. You
Right.
lost out on that sale, and these sales for nonprofits are
Mm-hmm.
huge donors that you're missing. This is not $1,000. These are huge companies because they act on speed. So this is
Yeah.
not a, fly by way company. These are real companies that are trying to invest and find people that are
Yeah.
taking their company serious. So
Yeah.
no one thinks you're going to take it serious if you respond. Honestly,
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you. In this day and age, Mama, how long do you think they should respond? Like, what's your time period? Just to be
I mean,
realistic.
just business in general is usually within 24 hours, no
Nice.
more than 48, right? And I've
Right.
heard
We really want an
people,
instant, like,
yeah, you really want instant will be
you really,
instant will let them know they really have their stuff together. Like they must have an assistant, right? Yeah,
you know
you
what I
really
mean?
do.
This is,
Even if somebody had $25 to give, right?
yep,
You don't know what's
exactly.
that will lead to, and you still want to
Yes.
appreciate if they give you $5, $10, 25, it doesn't matter, but you don't know who other people know. And then just having respect for people that want to give. And it could be a volunteer. Like you could
Yep.
miss out on the best
Yep. So many
volunteer.
opportunities.
I hear that a lot. And let's not talk about grant funders. How many, a lot of times, if you don't answer within a certain length of time, they're going to go to the next person.
That
So you could
absolutely.
lose major funding. So I already hear it. And you might be your team. You wearing every hat, the leader, the fundraiser, the marketer, the front desk, all of that, right? But in this case, your AI team, your digital team, workforce team, whatever you want to call them, they can be the ones that wear every hat. All right. Now we're going to get into the introduction of each one. Well, I said
Here's the
that, but
fun part.
let's
Dun,
talk
dun, dun,
about
dun.
this. This is why we're going through this tonight.
Yes. Yes.
So, and these are the things that I've heard. These are the things that even Tori has heard, where people will say why they don't hire these people, right? Why you don't get a virtual system? Why you don't get a content, what they call a social media management person? Why you don't all of that stuff, right? So high costs. Coordinators, agencies, retainers at a fast, which is true, money that could go to programs. And we know that for nonprofits, it's like that budget is what? Here? It's probably coming out of your
Right.
pocket. Yeah. Time management, managing time, more hours spent directing people instead of leading the mission.
Mhm.
All right, that's a big one because you want people that are qualified. Inconsistent coverage. Part-timers and freelance juggle other clients and other jobs, as I heard somebody say tonight when I took a call. They were like, even when you give people money, they don't do the job. Okay?
No, absolutely not. And no one's going to do it better than you. We get that. But this is the closest to it.
So let's get
The
something
closest to it.
qualified, right? And
Yeah.
constant onboarding. So every hire, every turnover means training someone new from scratch. So we got news from you. I think last time I heard the team has over 80 PhDs together collectively. So each one has about 7 or 8 PhDs, meaning that's the level of their expertise in what they do. All right. So this is why AI employees matter. Gives one important job a clear owner. It works every day, never burns out. They don't get tired and say, I'm sorry, I gotta go to bed. My child is sick, my husband's bothering me, whatever. And it costs a fraction of another hire. So your small team can finally keep up. So the big idea, because we hear people, these are the things of why people are scared of AI. And just keep in mind, they don't replace your judgment,
No.
they protect your consistency. And we're going to get into it to show that for the for the most part, you're going to approve before they put anything out. I would suggest that, especially the first few months, because it is relatively new. They're adding on agents, and I won't say they're not beyond errors, but sometimes it's technical. So make sure you're approving everything.
Also, and I do want to add for anyone that has a fear of AI, just understand we are in the AI era. It is not going anywhere. So just like the iPhone, it's not going anywhere. Just like the industrial era, it's not going anywhere. This is our new
Right.
era. So like we're gonna embrace it and get ahead of it and dominate and conquer it. So this is the time. Especially if you look anything like us. I try not to pitch to us, but
Yeah.
I do say we do want to get ahead of it and
Yes.
start growing in these spaces because, this is the time. So
Right. Right. All right. So we're gonna meet Eva. And I think personally, Tori, you tell me, I think that Eva's the most important. Like that was the one we kind of jumped
absolutely.
in. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was like a game changer. Like I'm like, oh my God, if they didn't do nothing else but just have Eva, I'm
She
done.
would work perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Completely eliminate ChatGPT for you. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. Or yeah, because a lot of times when you're using other AIs, you have to make them an agent, connect, do all of this. I love the concept of this being all in one. So Eva's like your executive assistant. She literally, if you gave no instruction, she will overhaul your inbox, any missed donor follow-ups, any calendar no one owns. So there's ways to be notified. You can, just like any other AI, give her exceptions, make sure that she brings it up maybe at the end of the day. I've heard that people have meetings with Eva in the morning, just like your team, and then you get a complete just the overall of what happened for the day. So it literally drafts emails in your voice. You just click the send and okay, transparency again. I forgot that it did that. And I'm like, I don't remember answering this person.
Right. It's like, oh wow, we're having a
And
full
I freaked
conversation.
out. I was like, oh my God,
Deal
did she send it?
closed.
Right. Now some of the emails are gonna miss because it's learning you. But then
Right.
I noticed that some would start off and I was like, oh, I wouldn't even think of that. And like I said, misspellings, things like that, you know, you got your corrections. It starts to learn you and it might end up answering better than you would. But what I do is I choose what I'm gonna send and then I hit send and not automatic.
Yes.
But you can make it automatically. It
And to
filters the
add to that,
uh-huh. Yeah.
I do want to say before you move on, Mom, I know that I have a fear, and I know a lot of people have a fear in business. When someone does reach out, that response times, a lot of times we see donors or we see customers or reaching out to us, and there's that fear of what do I say? How do I say it? And by the
Yeah.
time we done thought about all that, a day done went by, and we try to come back to it. Her drafting it makes it easy. It's like, okay, it's already here. At this point, click that go button,
Yeah,
refine it, whatever you want to do, but it takes that fear out because she
absolutely.
gets it started for you. So all you got to do is really hit send.
I love that. Yep, yep. It takes notes and action items during meetings. I got to notice that even today. So when you connect it, remember your calendar's connected. So I was able to just recently, it gave me a summary. And I know Zoom and all those do it, but sometimes, like, I don't let Zoom do it automatically a lot of times, but it was just a different type of overview that it gave. Again, the AI is learning you. It's already seeing your emails, and I know it doesn't have eyes, but it's still somehow seeing your emails and going through and know your flow as well. Schedules, I said, mentioned that is connected to your calendar. So especially if you have a Gmail base, but it works with, from what I understand, any email service. So schedules handles follow-ups and reminders. So basically what the platform says is that it frees up about 2 hours a day, the work of a part-time assistant. And like I said, it color codes, categorizes your emails, color codes it, all of that. I was completely surprised. So, anything you can think of?
Yes, also, I use it for my personal. So, I
Yeah.
use it for my personal because my personal is connected to my main a lot of times, and it keeps me on track in life
Mhm.
itself. It keeps me understanding what's important, what's not important, whether I have something for the kids going on. Like, it just kind of helps you balance business.
Mm,
It helps you balance business and home because there's different levels to what's important. So, in our personal life, we do have important things, and a lot of times
yeah,
those things get lagged, or because we're too focused on business, or the opposite, we're too focused on kids, and now business is down. So like it gives
right,
you like a level of personal, this is what's important, and business is what's important, just a balance that
right.
meshes amazingly. So
I
use it
forgot
for
about
both.
that. Yeah, I like
It's the
that.
best.
And you just had me remember, because I remember when I had little kids. This didn't exist, but just remember everything in your calendar. So if you're using your calendar and
Yep.
say maybe you have a child that has a game or something, or you have to pick them up, you're blocking that off because all of your agents talk to each other, right? But also, and we'll get into that, you have different workspaces. So you could have a workspace for personal and a workspace for your business and a workspace for your nonprofit organization. And it kind of keeps you on track. So if you have someone that says, I want to meet with you, and say Eva has seen that email, you won't be allowed to, or you'll get notification that it's conflicting with something. So I like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
We want to meet the next, let's see. Well, we'll go through this.
Just had an operator, super
Yeah.
simple. It actually
Yeah.
seems more complicated because it's so good, but it's not.
Yeah. Because when you see it being done, you're like, it just
Oh,
did all of
okay.
this.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, control point. You approve sensitive decisions. The agent handles the repetitive work before it becomes a bottleneck. And I've dealt with nonprofit leaders, and that has been a problem. Like, okay, we just talked about it. Did you not do this, 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 and this? Not to treat them like children, but I'm like, we can't move on until this is done. And they were like, well, I missed this email. I missed that, or I missed that appointment, what have you. So this kind of gets your whole life in order. So let's just jump to Sunny. That's probably my
Ooh,
next favorite
yes.
one. Because we keep saying nonprofits need to be out there. They need to be
Visibility.
visibility. And of course, Tori, like I said, that's the marketing person.
Yes. It's my
But
thing.
yeah, that's her thing. So yeah, like I said, this is probably the weak spot of all of us running any kind of business or
Yes.
nonprofit. I have been impressed. And what we're going to do tonight for the sake of time is we're just going over what it does. So, Sunny is the
Hmm.
social media manager.
The
You know,
best.
I don't know if y'all have
The
checked.
best.
Last time I checked with social media managers, what, maybe 200 starting off,
Yeah.
and it goes up.
That's,
That might be
oh
three
my,
times.
that's that. You did like 2,000.
Yeah. It does go up. It goes up according to your
for
needs.
social media
And then a
managers.
lot of times when you're not paying that much, you're getting, say your organization is not youth, it's more serious, you might get something that looks like Sunny. Hey, or you got to
Yep.
train that person to know. But this literally, when you connect it to your social media, you can do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. What did I miss? Facebook,
This
Instagram, Meta, so it goes
nice.
together, LinkedIn, Twitter. Yeah. And it actually will format it according to that particular platform. From what I understand, they're working on TikTok, so they're perfecting that a little bit better, but it will be able to do TikTok as well. So that's, man, who wants to really, if you're a business owner or a nonprofit leader, you are not wanting to do social media, even if you think it's fun.
No.
That is not something you want to do. So, again, this keeps your mission visible and posts for you without anyone having to dance on camera, right? Because most of us, we're grown. We're not trying to dance
Right.
on camera, not for our business or our nonprofit. It writes posts in your voice. You just click to publish. It plans. Again, I realize, okay, well, what am I going to do? And it's little things you might find, like what was the creation? As you all see, I'm Black, and it created a white lady. And I laughed. I was like, "LOL, Sonny, this is not me." And I just reminded, keep this in the memory. We won't get into it's just like chat or anything else. They call it a brain. That's its memory. So you want to make sure you have those things in there. Again, that part is like having an employee. That part.
Mm-hmm.
But once it starts knowing you, and it'll tell you, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Make sure I remember this is what you look like or whatever. Because
Mm-hmm.
what's
Exactly.
interesting, they have human-like attributes. So it's just funny to me when you see, oh, Sunny's thinking, Sunny's on the beach, Sunny's doing blah, blah,
It's
blah.
so
And
cool.
yeah, and then he comes out with, your post for the week. Turn to impact stories, updates into posts, repurpose a newsletter or video into social content, right? And again, it keeps you so what I've been doing, even for my business, I have Sunny set for 3 to 4 times a week, and then I
Mm-hmm.
will do what they call talking heads in between. So it appears that I'm always online.
Exactly. Keeping that
Yeah,
algorithm. So, and I know you ladies probably know the algorithm is not our friend. The algorithm is based off of the algorithm loves TV shows, basically. So a TV show is
yeah,
consistent. It's always posting at this time. It's very consistent. So an algorithm of a social media is based off of your consistency. And
yeah,
that's really it. It's honestly not even about quality. So imagine quality and consistency. And I know
right,
y'all have seen these leaders in the world of business who are dominating. It's honestly based off of automation. It's not them constantly online. It's impossible. They're literally just online repurposing the same things and posting in between. They have a social media team. So the algorithm is like, here we go. Here's
yeah,
Myron Golan's TV show. You know what I mean? Or so it's all about a TV show. Just if you think about it like that, you'll understand why maybe your best content doesn't do anything. It doesn't matter. It's all about
right,
being consistent, um, and you never know which one is going to go. So Sunny keeps
right,
you consistent. And that's
right.
honestly the only thing that matters in social media at this
Yeah.
point.
And then I want to remind, because my nonprofit leaders sometimes, I guess small businesses do the same, but especially nonprofit leaders, they're like, well, why do I have to be on social media? I don't think I'll find donors. But how many times I know I got caught on TikTok watching dogs and just people, what do you call the shelters where people come and get the dogs or whatever. And one of them is just AI. And I just went down, I'm just crying because they're picking out their owners. I didn't even realize the AI until I looked at the comments. Well, my
Visibility
point
is what's in your
is
face.
that, or somebody passes and you see them talking
Hmm.
about it. How many times have people, the algorithm, we say algorithm, but those are us, it's people, right?
Hmm.
So they're giving you because they have a heart. If they don't know the story of what you're doing, and it's just human nature. If I see you and I see representation out there, I'm more apt to give. And that's important. And later on down the line for our community, we're gonna really get into storytelling, and I'll have some experts on, might be on some tonight, but really talking about how important it is for you to tell the story, how much to tell the story, when to tell the story, all of those kind of things. And social media is that thing that allows you to do that. So Stan, he's considered the outreach agent for nonprofit leaders. Again, game changer. I want to ask, Tori, you let me know, how many of you all
Yes.
have your LinkedIn set up? Do you have your LinkedIn set up? And are you showing, excuse me, your nonprofit as your business? Because there's a business page and then there's your personal page. Anybody have that set up?
Danielle said set up but not active on it.
Okay. Okay. Now, I don't know if you realize, anybody, that almost any major company, corporation are all on LinkedIn. So
It's the
some people
number
say
one.
number
Number
one.
one.
Number one. It is the number
It's
one
crazy.
job board, but
Yeah.
they have long time surpassed even Facebook or what have you. So we know Facebook is going to be, and even Instagram. Don't discount that, because people my age are on there, and I'm 59. People her age are on there, but you don't know where that money's going to come from. But when you think of grants, that's corporations a lot of times, and we're not talking.
LinkedIn.
But even the government has space on there. You literally could just go through and look for grants on LinkedIn. But more importantly, you can go direct to corporation leaders, and that's where Stan comes in. So his first connect is LinkedIn. He's able to scourge the internet, but people have had complaints because there's way more. But just look at, I think I saw 7 million, 700 million, whatever those contacts are just in LinkedIn. And we want to make sure, what I didn't let it automatically communicate, because LinkedIn has its rules. I don't know if you've been on there enough to know that if you were to go and just find 10 people, 10 companies, LinkedIn would stop you. You see first connect, second connect, third connect. And the further down you are, you have to wait for that person to accept your connection, if that makes sense. So what I found is that if you get premium, which I'm not advocating that for nonprofits, I understand the budget, but if you don't have premium, you're going to be stopped. So sometimes accounts have been shut down because of that, or stopped because of that. So, but trust me, as soon as you connect him, he comes back within 15 minutes or so, depending upon your category of target, your target community, what the mission is that you're trying to go after. And he gives you those leads. And then there's the workflow. This is another where it could be automated. What do you want to do after? Like, if it was you reaching out to them, what would you say? That's the workflow. If they didn't communicate, they didn't answer in a day, okay, he's going to have like a 48-hour window, and then he's going to reach back out. And then after 3 times, maybe you stop. But it gives you the opportunity. That's a potential. So what it helps me do is, Stan has identified the corporation. I can go sneak around and look that corporation up, even for your sponsorships, for your events, all of that, whether you're trying to find grant funders or you're trying to find sponsorships, even in conjunction with your directories. Maybe you have a grant directory that you subscribe to.
Yes. Now, when you say Stan is also a good investigator, that is the best part. Because how many times have we been to events? Because I see what you said, Danielle. You went to an event, a networking event. Everyone doesn't matter. You need to know who matters. He will literally investigate for you the people that matter. So what if you went directly to the people that have some relation or correlation to what you need from them? You could spend that entire time networking with the people that matter. That would change than networking with, Susie over here that's a hairstylist. Like, doesn't do you any good. You get your hair done, but doesn't do you any
I like
good.
that. I
When
like
there's
that.
literally
Yeah.
the CEO right there, Stan is like, that's the guy. get there,
Yeah.
talk to him, talk about
Yeah.
his company, and that's how I've connected with a lot of people. I need to know who's in the room, who's important.
Yeah.
Stan gives you the information, you go directly to the source. Now your
Yes.
networking is turning into some network. So,
Yeah. And for my extroverts and my networkers, I get it. You want to talk to everybody. And it sounds old to say people that matter and don't matter. But you know what? Stan just got it for you.
yep. He's like,
He's
this is
connected.
who needs you need to be talking to.
And when we say matter, just think of your mission. If you're coming for to don't you're trying to find donors and you're getting the money, the funders, source, even the sponsorships, you definitely don't want people wasting your time. Well, tell me about your organization. And that's where
Yeah.
with Sunny that's posting, and we didn't even get to the one that does the articles, but there's a section where you can have articles. And we'll go into that as a training one day for those that don't know. But say I'm with you, I want to give some articles about youth. If I'm dealing with the big thing now, ADHD or neurodivergent, I keep hearing that. I want to give
Right.
some credible articles, some resources about it. I want to that's LinkedIn is the professional side. Every now and then you have an event, you can show some things on LinkedIn, but I want to show up as the expert as well in that industry of what I'm doing. I hope that makes sense.
Hmm.
Whether it be mental health, whether it be criminal, you got even for say ex-felons and maybe you're in that industry or for veterans, I want to show some articles that assist
Hmm.
in how we do. And it just makes that perspective of your organization, man. It just seems like professional, got all connected out here in the community, the professional as well as the people that you're serving. So
Hmm.
yeah, we could go on and on because look, it says books, meetings, some things I haven't even found out. Books, meetings, so you can focus on the relationship, send
Yep.
personalized follow ups, nothing slips. So again, they kind of over some of your team members overlap each other. So you're going to give the directives. But what he's mainly known for is finding leads. And in our case, it will be donors or sponsors.
Stan the
All right.
man.
Sandman, I like it. All right. And now we just mentioned about articles. That's Penny. We say
There's
SEO
Penny.
content writer. And if you're not
Yes.
technical, you don't really understand and might say, "Oh, that doesn't matter." But look here, I write SEO posts that help your community find you on Google and AI search. How important is that? Because we all know you should be claiming, this goes back to what I teach about nonprofits being a corporations, you should not have your home address, right? So say you have, even if it's a workspace, you want to have a true commercial space listed because you can get listed on, you don't want to be listed as the online. Now they have that as a category. You want to have the space listed. Literally, social media, whatever you're posting on social media can be on Google. Because how many people
Hmm.
say, "Oh, I don't do Facebook. I don't do Instagram. I don't do whatever." Your local people can catch it on Google. And how many searches could
Hmm.
they do to even find you? So many. Even as a
And
business, I've had people
also,
contact.
I don't
Mhm.
know if anyone knows, but ChatGPT, Claude, they actually use SEO, well, Google search
Yeah,
for
yeah,
who they pitch for people to reach out to. So honestly, it's still all connected. So, and I know y'all seen where ChatGPT will give you like options, like, oh, go to this place. That's not them just being nice. It's still all connected to why they're picking this company to advertise to you. So it's all still just advertisement. So if you're on Google, you're on someone's Chat GPT, you're on someone's Claude, it's all the same.
yes,
That's it.
yes. I think all of you will be pleased with also Penny, once she knows your nonprofit, what your mission is. So the articles, and I'll give you an example because I have a nonprofit client who has a fitness. Well, it involves wellness, health and wellness, but he already has the fitness training side and the space. where people come in, and he's serving underserved because the building is actually kind of connected to a university here in Nashville. But he wanted the nonprofit because he just realized there was a need, even with if he hadn't been dealing with you. And I said, this is an opportunity to talk about health and wellness and have some, community things you can do out there. So I tried Penny, and again, no shade to people who are not Black, but the first time the pictures, even with Sunny, were looking white. And I said, we are serving underserved, which in the case of the demographics that he's serving in the part of town, they're going to mostly be Black and brown, most going to be African American. And both Sunny and Penny is like, oh, that makes sense. I get that. And they immediately changed it up. And I wanted to speak to some of it is just economic level, not necessarily race, but speak to someone who makes under 30,000, under 20,000. What would be the issues with them with having a family and having to come in and cook, all of those kind of things. So she immediately came up with some major stuff. I'm like, oh, this is good. And then getting yeah, and the stats. So we're talking about diabetes. How many, I've been a nurse, so that's important to me. The children's hospitals are full. So getting the stats on how many have heart disease, how many children have this, and those kind of articles. And remember, I said they can go on Google, they can go on LinkedIn, and you can also put them on, I say Google, LinkedIn, and your website.
I made Penny do me 3 blogs that were, she just had a layout of what 3 blogs were like important in this space. Like, what's the most Google thing right now that has something to do with marketing? We put those 3 blogs up. My website that no one even knows about, I haven't even posted about, had over 100 viewers. I was just like, wait a minute. How are you finding me? I don't even know. I'm like, I don't even have an offer. I didn't even have an offer on the page. It was still in construction. So I think it's the power of the SEO optimization. It's like you don't even need to understand it anymore. There's no understanding it. You don't need to. This is what they're here for. This is the secrets. This is the secrets. They know what words to use. They know how to put you out there. I was just so shocked. I didn't even do any work. I didn't even modify it because I told them they kind of studied me. So they already utilized everything that I would want them to say. Well, I changed it a little bit, but barely anything. So
Right. And they're researching the area. They're doing all of that because it's AI, right? And then if anybody thinks about it, okay, I can make chat do that. But for me, I was like, okay, I got to do chat for this. I got to do Claude for this. I got to do sometimes just having it all in one. I mean, just let somebody just be doing something, and then I can, when I have time, I'll go to chat and Claude, and I can add in some things or do some things different, maybe another AI picture or something that I need. But for the most part, they do that. And Rachel, okay,
Rachel.
I personally have not used Rachel because I haven't. But get this. It comes with a dedicated phone number. I don't know any platform where you get a phone number that comes with the platform without paying extra. Okay. So she acts as a reception, and I think that's important, especially for many of you nonprofits that you have all you leaders, you're already out there in the community. Just think of calls where somebody might want to call and ask about your organization or having that answer service to direct them. You know, it can be connected to to your website and having the chat. I think this is the one that does that too. There's one of these where you connect it to your website and it actually acts as a chat bot for the
Rachel.
website. Yeah. And then answers program service questions. So those are things that, use your chat and your Claude to come up with some questions you might not think of. But most of us know, what are people asking us about our organization? How can they donate? When is the event? I can think of so many questions. As a matter of fact, it was the event I was supposed to go to today. Didn't know what door to go in, and other people are out there couldn't figure it out. I'm like, okay, I came on time. Now it's later, I'm not staying. I left and a couple other people left as well. So we want to make sure those questions are, because you might be working on the event or doing what you do day to day and you need those questions answered. A lot of times they're repetitive anyway, right? And she'll transfer the phone when a human is needed. So that's something that if you say 8 to 4:30 I'm available or 8 to 12 I can answer, then she'll answer and then transfer the call. Like the answer service. Front desk as they say. Anything you can think of, Tori?
Yes, I will say it's really amazing how Rachel will have a full blown conversation. Okay, so it is light speed ahead of the normal AI that you hear,
Yeah.
if you're doing some type of customer service for like a phone company or something like that. They're horrible. This lady will have a full-blown conversation and she sounds so natural. Her natural
Mhm.
tone just gives people a chuckle. Like it just makes them like, wow, like your AI
Right.
is talking to me like a real person. And
Yeah.
when we do our case study, we'll have a conversation with it and interact with it so you can see that it actually answers the questions. And if there's a question where they're like, hey, how much is it going to cost? You can train them to say, well, we try not to give a number. She's so professional. Oh gosh, she's so good at sales. She'll say, we're not, it depends on the value, or, I can get you set up with the call. She's immediately focused on converting that person over into your
Yeah.
calendar immediately. I can't wait to do the case study on it so you
Yeah.
can see it and hear it. It's
So
insane.
yeah, it is. It is.
She's a salesman. She's not just a phone operator.
Oh,
She's a
and they
salesman.
will be coming out with the customer service. Some
Yes.
people already are getting it. So, like anything, when they roll it out, they usually are just kind of picking and choosing who gets it first. And that's
Right.
kind of like the beta, but they do have a customer service. So just think you have these 6 right now. They're coming out with others, and the price doesn't increase. Okay. And keep in mind, once again, on the control, you still approve sensitive decisions. That's up to you to decide. And the agent handles the repetitive work. It's the most important thing. All right. And Linda, they call her the
Listen,
document
Landon.
assistant. I know, right? Or you could almost call her a legal assistant.
Yes.
So think about grants and agreements. And we're always talking about collaborative partnerships and
Mhm.
people giving you contracts, or I've seen where people get grants and maybe they missed something in the contract. Well, this is what she does is not only drafts agreements, which I say I don't care if it's your friend, your mom, your sister, your or friend. When you're dealing with your nonprofit, please make sure you are doing agreements with people. If you have a speaker, do an agreement with that speaker, have an understanding. And that's where these drafting agreements, MOUs, for those who aren't familiar, that's your memorandum of understanding. So you might have your basic agreement, but your MOU will spell out exactly what's expected from you, what's expected from them, if, however that contract goes. It summarizes dense documents in plain English, meaning you can
Mm-hmm.
upload that through, and then she'll give you in plain English what that agreement is saying. Flags risky clauses for closer look. And we're in
Mm-hmm.
communities that talk about this, so people even will say real estate agents or even attorneys or what have you. It actually works. She actually, again, has multiple PhDs. Okay.
Yeah.
Escalates to a licensed attorney when it matters. So she'll let you know when it needs to go to that
Mm-hmm.
attorney. Okay. So I think that's, again,
Game changer.
having limited game changer, having limited
Game
budget.
changer.
I can see where even having a budget, this squashes we all let's just talk about it, right? The elephant in the room. It is hard to get good help. So AI
Yes.
is not necessarily replacing people, but it is replacing people that can't do the job. It
Mm-hmm.
is. Because even if you had an assistant, say you can get someone in office with you, that assistant can use AI, this whole platform, to be able to do their work better. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have to replace it, but I just think for the bad workers, yeah, get you to the point. Because what are we looking for?
Absolutely.
Funding. We're looking for the funding. So if the funding you get is only for programs and you don't have enough funding for administrative, here you go. Here's your answer. All right. So just to kind of sum it up, each agent owns a clear part of the supporter journey. Together they become an operating system for your mission. We talked about Rachel. She captures the call or question. Eva keeps the inbox, schedule and notes clean. Penny builds long-term search visibility. Stan follows up with the donor or partner. Sunny turns wins and impact into content. Linda keeps grants and agreements clear, right? For us, we don't just install AI, we build a mission operating system around it. Anybody have any questions, even so far? Like I said, we're not getting into showing, and I know that's easier to do.
Right. That's the fun part.
Yeah, but we wanted to give that introduction that this exists. If you wanted to get it tonight, today, tomorrow,
Yeah,
um,
because you want to go ahead and sign up, because when you look at how to, I wouldn't just look at how to, I would actually be setting it up as I'm learning how to.
yeah.
I think that's way more valuable. That's how you get the engine running. You don't want to just watch a how to. That's not real. No one actually follows through with that. So
And
you
we
want to go ahead
reminded
and get signed
we have to
up.
remind each other, right? We have to remind each
Yes.
other, like,
Yes.
no, just do it. Like it's doing it.
Just do
It's
it. Yep.
weird. I don't when if you ever see it or get it, you'll understand what we're saying. Like it's ahead of you.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
things you don't even think of. Like, oh,
And
okay,
that's what makes any great leader or any great company or any $1 billion, $1 million company. It's not them. They're not the one person leading everything. It's a team. So
yeah.
now we have a team for the
Well,
first time in
fractional.
2026. Yeah, you have a full blown team. Like, what a time to be alive. So to literally not take advantage of it is like ludicrous. You know what I mean? It's like, this
Yeah.
is the time we're choosing to reach out to people that don't know about this, or people in our space, and we want to get ahead of it so y'all can get ahead of it. And that pricing stays the same for people that sign up now. I don't know what it's going to be in a month or two once they start expanding, but right now we're ahead of it. So while we're ahead of it, let's jump on it. This is the fun part, the affiliate.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a question. Is all of this in the Marblism affiliate program that was shared?
Yes. This is in the platform of the AI agents. There are 6 agents
Yep.
available. So all of that is included. And as we went over, like if you deal with your personal or you have a business, you're in school, whatever, you can set up multiple workspaces. It covers 50 hours a week. I mean, a month, 50 hours a month. Okay. So right out the gate, I'm like, okay, 50 hours, you're going to pay somebody, even in the Philippines, you might pay $10 or $8.
Mm-hmm.
Say
We've done
$10,
that.
just the purpose of math. You take 10 times 50, you're already there with $500, right? Even if it's somebody with $8, and I don't know where you find $8. I've found it, but you usually have to get more hours. So if you were to do $4 an hour, you still have to do 40 hours a week. So that's 160 times 4. So was that 640 or something like that? So you're still
Mm-hmm.
over 500. I don't know anywhere you can get a human being, not even in another country, for this price that we're gonna show you, right?
Right.
Oh,
Nowhere. You can't even get ChatGPT or Claude if you're doing the actual. Of course, you
well,
got to
it's
pay
not gonna
for it if you're a
be that.
business.
It's
You
definitely
can't
not.
even get no, because all of those platforms are based off of credit, so
Yeah,
you're
and a
definitely going to
phone
be
number.
over.
And a phone
No,
number. Yeah. And what we did, we offered it here for we both think it is so easy. And I get it when people are overwhelmed and maybe they need a little assistance. We have a setup fee that we'll do personally for 197, and then basically because we're customizing it to your nonprofit, it might take 2 hours. That's also a time to speak with me as the nonprofit expert. So you're getting a strategy session as well as having the tools set up for your organization.
Question, they can actually have their own affiliate as well, right? Once they sign up.
Absolutely. And that wasn't any
Yeah.
extra. And that's what I mean for your nonprofit. That could be a way to generate income. Because say you even, which we're going to be doing local workshops, but say you did one, you charge a small fee for people to come in, you get that money plus the money that, or if you do a free one in the community for everybody to sign up, they start at 30%. So this is what it'll look like. We're asking
Love it.
the link. Once you sign up, then you get your own link automatically.
You already get your affiliate link.
Let's start with a monthly. Say you just wanted to do monthly. It is $44 a month. 44. Look, we had a trucking company. Just for us to do the phone number, it was 24.
Gosh.
Starting minimal. $44. That's access to all of the employees, personalized to your business. In this case, we're talking about nonprofits. 100 plus languages supported. 24/7
Right.
support, unlimited chat, unlimited businesses. That's where the workspaces come in. 50 hours of work is included. You can cancel anytime, and unlimited team member. So what we did, we went in together and I just added Tori on for now to just see how it works. It didn't increase in price. You do annual, that's $288 for the year. The more people that purchase from your affiliate, that price goes down for you.
How much would a secretary cost? How much would a social media manager cost?
Stop at the VA. The VA was $500 for a whole month. We're talking about $288 for the whole entire year.
Exactly. Insane.
Whole year. So say you had friends, colleagues, people that wanted this. It doesn't matter if they're nonprofit, for profit. It doesn't matter, but you pitch this to them, or some people will do it just because they know you and they say, okay, you say they have my business. And they buy an annual, you get 10 of those. That's $864.
Yep.
There's your budget.
It sure does pay for itself. I mean, I'm just so shocked. I know the reason why the pricing is so low. Again, it's not new. They are literally the leading automation company, but it's at the middle stage to where right before they start charging a whole different price point. So we're trying to get ahead of it. That's why we're like, you know what? We don't care if we're prepared. Let's just get ahead of it so people that look like us, think like us, and relate to us can go ahead and jump on board at this price point. So when it's already saturated, then let everybody else have to deal with the $200, $300, $400, just like, companies like Go High Level. So eventually they're going to be those prices. So before that, let's get in now, get our affiliate links going as a team, and start becoming experts in this space of AI that's literally not going anywhere. So now this makes us all AI experts. So we can join the team of all the AI experts right now. Yeah. So yes, price does not go up. It does not. It actually goes down because the more people sign up, they give you a discount, and they also help market you. So they give you money to host events. It's insane. You have to be in on the ground floor. Yeah. This is the first time I've ever been ahead of something. I'm always late. I make it happen, I'm always late. So I'm like, I can't allow y'all to be late. We gotta jump on this. Everybody's talking about it. So we're here now.
Tori did the demo actually with one of the representatives, but if I'm not mistaken, they keep saying for the lifetime.
Not a one-time payment.
And we're going to do more of these too. If I have a question, how to find, y'all know what? You're in the community. So you click my name, Kathy, in the community. I almost was about to say, you can catch me on social media, go to nonprofit. It's in the community.
That's what I love about school, because school already has a community attached. I love it.
I want to encourage, if you do not have your nonprofit or if you are new, go to the section for how do I start the nonprofit the right way. You're going to see that there's some things on the legal side, things that maybe you might have not considered that you want to consider going forward. And it will help you incorporating something like this as well. Keep in mind, the grant writing course is free. I will be revamping that very soon, just to give it a fresh look, you'll get some AI prompts, the knowledge or the skills to be able to pull off that program. So you have your 501c3. Okay, good, good, good. The sky's the limit. Please go through the community. I tease
Yes.
everybody. I
Yes.
know with grants, and that's how I get people in here. And I know there's other communities out there, but I can tell you just giving you a grant means nothing. You can go out there and find grants. And a lot of times you're paying 1,500 and up for a grant writer. AI can help you do that. I need you to go through the community because there's some tips like Walmart. Sign up for Walmart now. Make sure your PayPal is in order. It has been invaluable within the community. So utilize those things. I tell everyone, quit talking about PayPal and all these personal reasons why. It's a freaking company.
Mhm.
The world trusts because they have systems in place for nonprofits, for businesses. The exchange of money is safer than anything else. So Facebook trusts it, Walmart trusts it. I have a cheat sheet online. Sign up for every single thing that applies to your nonprofit. There's things that you can do now. Just offer your own relationships within your own community. What's the name of your nonprofit? What's your EIN number? Your board
Right.
members? All of that stuff is more important to getting the funding. Because if you have that
Mhm.
and your program, people want to just give All right. So no more questions.
Thank you, ladies. Y'all were amazing. Y'all have a great night. Super excited. Thank y'all so
All
much.
right. Yes. And good night.
Bye.